Hello and welcome to Inside KATSINA on Trust TV. I am Ibrahim Yusuf. Now, agriculture has always been the mainstay of the economy in KATSINA state. Most people, both in urban and rural areas, practice one form of agriculture or another, either on a subsistence level or on a much larger scale. However, over the years, most farmers are dogged by the inability to access farm inputs and implements that would ease their activities and improve productivity. Now, in light of this, the government of KATSINA State, under the leadership of His Excellency Governor Aminu Bello Masari, deemed it fit to resuscitate the almost comatose Farmers Supply Company of KATSINA in order to avail farmers with the opportunity to have access to farm implements at a subsidized rate. Now, on this episode of Inside KATSINA, we will be talking to Abdu Abu Kofarsuru, the General Manager, Farmers Supply Company of KATSINA, as he takes us through the mandate of his company and what he has been able to achieve so far. Let's take a look.
The inception of this, the government of administration of Right Honorable Aminu Bello Masari, what is known about their motive and their mission, especially pertaining the agricultural development in KATSINA State. There was that restoration agenda in which agriculture is one of the major areas where they focus. During the inception of the government, at the inception of the government by the year 2015, unfortunately, the state without a single bag of fertilizer. So as at that time, because like I said, my organization is responsible for sourcing these agricultural inputs, fertilizer inclusive, fertilizer, chemicals, implements, and seeds, improved seeds. When they came into being, they met the state government with the state without fertilizer. So initially, even before the formation of the council, they made an arrangement to procure fertilizer for distribution to the farmers, because when they came around May, and it's the rainy season. So initially they did that to safeguard the situation. From then, the following year, the state government purchased 50,000 metric tons of fertilizer. 50,000, which was never done before. Later on, they continue. Pertaining the other agricultural inputs, initially when they came into being, my organization, the former administration, is not even considering the budget of the organization. So, like I told you, they are very much interested in agriculture. That is Aminu Masari's administration. They started considering our budget. From then up to now, each and every year, we used to budget a certain amount of money in order to procure agricultural input and sell to the farmers directly. And the farmers can attest to it, because especially the irrigation farmers, because now what we introduce is we are taking the input directly to the farmers, to their various farms, for them to enjoy the subsidy. Because we learned that when we keep these items in our stores, vendors are coming to buy it to gain the subsidy. So we introduced the system whereby we used to take these items at the back door of the farmer, the irrigation farmers. A committee was formed. His Excellency, the Deputy Governor, who the Commissioner of Agriculture, formed a committee in which we used to take these items directly to the farmer for their own benefit. So that is what this administration has done for attaining these agricultural inputs. We have various stores throughout the state. We have these farm service centers, 330-something farm service centers statewide. But these farm service centers were constructed about some 30 years ago, some 40 years ago. So they are in a dilapidated condition when this government came in. So immediately they came in, they sent the consultants which went around the whole state to ascertain the level of damage of these our various stores. So actually, that is to get the real situation of the stores. So the consultants went around and they brought a report. Unfortunately, the government is intended to be doing it stage by stage, but this government encountered a problem of financial problem, which is well known when this administration came in, the oil has dropped drastically. So had it been there is enough money, I'm telling you by now, I think about 80% of this our stores will be in good shape. But nevertheless, the ones we are having, we used to pick one by one and be renovating them. Actually, initially, when they brought that report, it was approved. The renovation of Musawa and one of our big store at Funtua was done. Even these stores for agriculture, that is for the produce, there are big stores which they use to store the grains. Actually, they were all renovated. So even now, currently, I am having a release for the renovation of some of our stores. That is like that of Batagarawa and one big store here in KATSINA. So actually, when the government came in, they put in their best to see that they did, which is right. You know, chemical. When I say chemical, I mean agricultural chemicals. That is, we have the insecticides, we have the herbicides, we have the pesticides. Insecticides are the chemicals used by farmers to kill insects in their farms. The herbicides are used, that is, it's a weed killer, which used to kill the weeds in the farm. And there are two types. That is the post-emergence and the pre-emergence. The ones which a farmer can use before planting, and the one which we call the other one selective, which you can apply it when the plants are already raised. So then for the implements, it covers water farms, irrigation farms, the ones farmers use for watering their farms. Then we have the sprayers, the one which is used to spray the insects. Then we have the other inputs like flour, that is the import flour, and others. So when I say chemicals, implements and chemicals. And about the seeds, we're talking about the improved seeds. You know, now technology is going on. Whenever the research institutes, they used to do research to find and improve seeds. So we used to buy that seeds to sell to the farmers, the ones which are early yielding varieties and disease-resistant varieties. That is in the area of seeds. Actually, there is no system without challenges. But the main challenges we face is the lack of money, like I told you. The government found itself in one situation in which the money coming to the government is not available to satisfy all our needs. Although, when I'm talking about subsidy cannot reach everywhere. It cannot reach everywhere. It only reaches certain numbers of farmers, which actually is making an impact. Like this fertilizer, the reason why government is concentrating on buying fertilizer is that it cushions the prices of fertilizer in the market. Like last year fertilizer was not distributed as a result of economic situation of this, and actually, you know, this issue of Ukraine-Russian war, it affected the fertilizer all over. I think it's all over the world, not even in Nigeria. So that was the reason last year the fertilizer was not supplied to the farmers, because the budget we had was not enough to cover the quantity we needed. But inshallah, for this year's budget, we raised the amount which is supposed to be voted for the fertilizer, so that next year government will do its best to see that it purchases the fertilizer to the farmers.
Now, from the renovation of dilapidated facilities to the construction of new ones and ensuring that the provided implements get directly to the farmers, the KATSINA State government is leaving no stone unturned in making sure the farmers in KATSINA State are well taken care of in terms of farming implements and inputs. We'll take a break now, and when we return, Inside KATSINA continues. Welcome back to Inside Katsina on Trust TV, where we've been in conversation with Abdu Abu Ofesuru, the General Manager, Farmers Supply Company of Katsina. And he has been taking us through the mandate of his company and the successes it has been able to achieve so far. Later on in the program, we will hear firsthand from a farmer who is a direct beneficiary of the government's agricultural interventions. But before then, we asked the General Manager how well his company plays with others in terms of partnerships and collaborations to achieve common goals. Let's take a look.
My organization is allowed to reach every angle of the country, even outside the country, to source for inputs. So we used to liaise with the sister organizations in Jigawa, Zamfara, and the nearby states. When they have some items which we don't have, we used to make an arrangement so that we get it for our farmers. Actually, when this issue of insecurity came up, what we used to do is we take the fertilizer or other input to the nearest point in which the farmers in the affected areas can go and have access with the inputs. That is what you normally do. Like look at Libya. Last year, what we did was we called the officials of the farmers, the leadership of the farmers, along with the farmers. They came here. We told them, okay, this is the allocation of your subsidized inputs. That is water farms, like I told you, and other agricultural chemicals. Then they come with the representative of the farmers and their leaders. So they pay the money here and take it from our stores here, because we cannot go there, like you say, as a result of the insecurity. When this administration came into being, we are not even enjoying our budgetary provisions. It will not be, before it was not being even approved. But with the inception of this government, they started considering our budgets, and they are providing money when available for us to go ahead with our exercise. And I'm thanking him, I'm thanking the administration of Minibella Masari for considering agriculture. Actually, they are doing their best. In particular, he has a very much concern about food production, and the deputy governor. That was why he even appointed the deputy governor as the commissioner of agriculture, so that they will give more attention to agriculture. Actually, I appreciate the way His Excellency is considering agriculture. Yes.
Mu manoma rani da damana ma'aikata passport ma'aikata ce da dadda a jihar Katsina tun jihar Kaduna, Allah kawo muka zo jihar Katsina, kuma sun shahara wajen samar da irin gero, irin wake, irin dawa, takin zamani, magungunan kwari kala-kala, da kuma ainihin ba manoma subsidy na abubuwan da suke samarwa ga manoma da inganta aikin gona na damana da na rani. Bambancewa ita wannan ma'aikata 2001, 2001 and 2 sun ba mu tallahuka wanda da Allah muna tunani a wannan shekarar za mu sake amfana da irin abin da suka ba mu. Sun sai da mana inji a subsidy, madadin manomi ya je sai inji naira 60,000, 70,000, an sai da mai shi akan naira 22,500. To gaskiya alhamdulillah, kowane irin lokaci da irin lokacin da yake zuwa. An samu lokaci wanda ana cikin tsadar rayuwa, to amma sai su daure su ba da tallahin, kuma mukan yi iyakar kwazon mu da ake kira a cewa mu ga tallahi, ko mai kwazo mu kai ma garuruwan da ake ba tallahin don manoman yan uwa musu amfana. Dan shi har kullum mai sako in an bashi sako ya riga isar da sako kamar yadda aka zayyana. Alhamdulillah, a da sai mun yi tahiya mun je gidan kwakwa mu karɓi taki, amma yanzu gwamnatin Bello Aminu Bello Masari ta tadda mu har fadama, ta ba manoma rani allocation, ta zo ta aji sayi da wanda take aji takin noman damana, ta kira runhuna da masu unguwannin rumfunan don cewa an ba su taki a farashi mai sauki kamar yadda aka saba yi. Ta gaji wannan abin ne ga gwamnatin baya, to da ta zo sai ta sake maimaitawa, ta ƙara maimaici, ta inganta abin saɓanin yadda ake yin shi baya. Za a tadda manomin a gonar shi a ba shi allocation. Mu mutanen ajiyo mukan an shi allocation ɗinmu ajiyo fadama, kowane fadamu tun ga da Shantali, Sabon Garin Naira, Makera, ajiyo mukan kasa ta kamar kashi 6 za mu je mu karbi takin mu a Ɓata Garawa. In muka zo nan cikin ƙasar za a ba 'yan ƙayauki, za a ba mutanen Barhim, za a ba mutanen Bakiyawa, duk mu haɗu a Ɓata Garawa mu karɓi wannan takin na noman rani kenan. Na noman damina kuma za a kai wani a Bakiyawa, za a kawo wani a ƙayauki, za a kai wani a Tsanni, za a kawo duka santanmu an taki. Haka ake bi mai unguwa rumfa ku haɗa kuɗi ku je ku sai taki cikin sauƙi don ku tafi gona. Wannan mun samu wannan ci gaban, kuma aƙalli ma'aikatan gonar jihar Katsina suna da yawa. Shi kan shi GM na Fascot ya san wannan, ita kanta ma'aikatar gona ta Katsina ta kan yi, suna da haɗin gwiwa tsakanin saboda irin nau'i ɗaya ne, kowa ya san kowa. Akwai lokacin suka haɗu da shi darakta na Katarda da shi GM na Katarda, aka haɗu aka combination, suka bi mu gari kuma gona kuma suka ba da sako, kuma sakon nan ya isa ga manoma. Ta duk mutumin da ya kira ka ce ga magani, kai maganin ƙwarin da ke damun nomanka, kuma ga famfan hinshi, kuma famfan hinshin nan madadin a sai da ka sai shi a kasuwa naira 15,000 ko 10,000, sai a sai da ma akan naira 3,500. Adalci in dai ba ayayi. Inji naira 70,000 ko bana na saya da hannuna mai dan sauki naira 62,000. Amma wannan gwamnatin a ƙarƙashin CGM na Fascot an ba mu wannan injinan aƙalla, ina tabbatar maka, an ba area ayo guda 15, an ba Masaba 15, an ba Tsagero 15, an ba dam ɗin Kwana Are 15. Duk ko ina haka aka ba da injinan na inci 2 da inci 3 farashi guda. Wanda ya samu inci 2 22,500, wanda ya samu inci 3 22,500. Kuma mu muka ba da shawara cewa mu mutanen da ke amfani da babban ruwa kamar mutanen Kwana Are da dam ɗin Ajo mun yi amfani da inci 3. Kuma jin shawaran mu, GM ya kwazo na Fascot da ya ce mu samu inci 3, inda suke amfani da rijiyoyin tuboil a ba su inci 2. Kuma haka aka yi a duk faɗin jihar nan bakin gwalgwado da inda ake aika da inda aka same ka gona aka ce ma ga tallahi. Ayan kana noma kamar mai fadama ne yana noma cagi 1 ko cagi 2, ai aka ce mai ga tallafin taki, ga tallafin maganin kwari, ko ga tallafin maganin kwari ko famfan heshi, to ai zai iya linka wannan abin insha Allah rabbi zai kai linki 2, saboda madadin ya kwashe kuɗin shi ya sau wani abin sai ya haɗa saurin ƙara wurin hilin faɗin gona. Duk wanda kasan zai iya samar da kwandon tumatiri 50, to insha Allah rabbi samu wa'in tallafin zai iya samar da guda 70 zuwa 100. Gaskiya alaƙa mu ta yi. Ni dai aikin gona haɗa mu da shi, don lokacin da Allah ya sa muka haɗu da wannan haɗuwai, ya nuna man ga yanda za a yi, da ce mai insha Allah rabbi saƙon nan na kusa da ni zai kai ko ina. Kuma aka biyo sawu, don ni wanda aka fara ma bani rabawa ne, na ba gajeren giwa, na ba Tinga, na ba Masabo, na ba Garin Naira. Kaga wancan Rimu local government ne, nan kuma Ɓata Garawa local government ne waɗannan ajiwa. Sai da suka zo suka ce malamai Zabura ya karaba, na gaya suka ce to ka ba da kasanka wasu kasusuwa, za mu ba Masaba kaza, za mu ba Masaba gajeren giwa Kurabo kaza, za mu ba Rimin Guza kaza, wani garin na Tinga da ka ba su naka ne. Sai da aka ba mu kaso muka ba su, sai muka ce to kuma domin da kasan mu ma ba manoman mu. Gaskiya jinjina da yaba ga wannan gwamnatin, na yaba. Har kullum muna kira mu manoma a rika ba mai kwazo ofis don ya rika shi, don ya isar da aikin sakon da gwamnati ta bada. Har kullum ma'aikatan gona to a ba wanda ya san aikin gonai kuma ya amfani da manoman shi. In aka ce ma'aikatar ilimi a ɗauko wanda ya san koyarwa da yadda ake hudu ilimi a bashi. Amma ana ɗauko mutumin da shi ƙasa ya sani ko kuma injiniya ne ya yi ce gona, to sai an samu matsala, saboda shi inda ya nuha ba na aka bashi ofis ba. Har kullum ita gwamnati ta rika yin amfani da abin da aka karanta ko kuma abin da ake takardu da shi da mu'amalar shi da mutane. To GM da Katarda da ita kanta ministry kwazon su, to mu dai a manoman jihar Katsina sai mu ce mun gode Allah sa albarka. Kuma gwamnati Aminu Bello Masari ta yi iyaka kwazanta, ta yi kwazo ga manoma, na damana da na rani. Muna fata in Allah ya kawo ta gwamnati wadda za ta gaji wannan mulki to ta dora ta wuce in za ta iya wucewa, in kuma ba ta iya wucewa to ta kai abin da ita wannan gwamnati ta yi mu don mun gamsu.
Now that's hearing it from the horse's mouth. To say the Katsina State government is committed to agricultural restoration is an understatement. Under the leadership of Governor Aminu Bello Masari, agricultural development has been granted pride of place at the very top of the administration's restoration agenda. And that wraps up this episode of Inside Katsina on Trust TV. Join us again next time as we examine another sector being positively impacted by the restoration agenda of His Excellency Governor Aminu Bello Masari in Katsina State. Until then, I am Ibrahim Yusuf. Thanks for watching.